everyone. In this lecture, we are going to understand the concept of rural area and the structure of rural Indian economy. We'll have a look at certain facts and stats. So pay attention to this particular lecture. All right. So how is a rural area defined? So according to National Sample Survey Organization, that is NSSO, it defines the rural area as this thing. Point number one is an area with a population density of up to 400 per square kilometer. So there should be around 400 people 400 people per square kilometer, and you have to remember that this is up to. So up to 400 people per square kilometer, this area would fall under rural area along with these two other points as well. Second point says that the population of less than 5,000. So the population of the area has to be around 5,000. And the third point says that the minimum of 75% of male working population is involved in agriculture and allied activities. So these are the three criteria according to NSSO, and they determine the rural area in India. This particular point talks about all the areas which are not categorized as urban area, and let's see how many of the rural units are there in India. So according to the census 2001, there were 6,38,588 villages in India, and census 2011 says that there are 6,40,867 villages in India. So there is a increase of 2,279 villages. So a potential question may arise here that what is the current trend regarding the rural units in India? It has increased, and that too by an amount of 2,279, right? So this is one stat that you should keep in mind. All right, rural urban distribution of population is 68.84 and 31.16. So a majority of population, that is around 69%, still reside in rural areas in India. And if you look at the absolute numbers of population, rural population is around 83.3 crore people, and urban population is around 37.7 crore. All this is according to 2011 census. And if we consider sex ratio, in 2001 it was 933 overall for India, and it is increased marginally to 940. And if you look at rural, it has remained almost around same, 947 from 946, and for urban it has increased from 900 to 926. And when we talk about child sex ratio, 0 to 6 years, that is, this is also a classification. A question may come from here as well, that child sex ratio include people or kids up to which age. So answer is up to 6 years. So overall for India in 2001 it was 927, and surprisingly it has fallen down to an extent to 914. So there is a decline in the child sex ratio. And for rural also it has declined from 934 to 919, and for urban marginally from 906 to 902. So this is the scenario of sex ratio in India. And literacy rates, let's have a look at that. Literacy has increased overall for India from 64.8 to 74. For rural it has increased from 58.7% to 68.9, and for urban around 80 to 85. Let's have a look at the distribution in male and female. In 2001, overall 75% of Indian male were literate. In 2011, it has increased to 82.1, so an increase of plus 6.8. For rural, you can see that from 72 it has increased around to 78.6, an increase of about 8%. And for urban, 86.3 to 89.7, increase of 3.4. This is for male, right? Let's have a look at female. 2001 it was only about 53.7 overall population of female were literate. It has increased to 65.5, that is an increase of 11.8. In rural sectors you can see that from 46.1 to 58.8, increase of 12.7%. And for urban it has increased from 72.9 to 79.9, so an increase of 7% over here. So this is the scenario over here. You can see that for rural female and urban female, the difference is still pretty high, that is more than 20% here. So this is one consideration that Indian government has to look into. Now, rural population in states and union territories are excluded. The highest population in a state is in Uttar Pradesh, that is around 155.11 million people, around 18.6. So this comes out to be nearly 15.5 crore. Although this is the figure is from 2011. Now this population has crossed that figure. We'll have a look at the next census and get to know that how much the population has increased. For Bihar, it is 92.07, that is around 9.2 crore, 11.1%, and West Bengal comes in at third place at 62.21 million people, that is 7.5% of total population. And the least populated states are Sikkim, Mizoram and Goa. So question would basically arise from this particular portion, because we all know that Uttar Pradesh, Bihar and West Bengal, these are the populous states. People are aware of this fact, but bottom three states, not much of a knowledge is there to people. So you should have a look at that. 0.45 million for Sikkim, 0.52 for Mizoram and 0.55 for Goa. And all this share is to the total rural population in the country. Remember that. We are looking at the rural population in states, and these were the top three states. These are the bottom three states, and this share of 18.6% is to the total rural population of UP, that is the rural population, to that of population of India, that is also rural, right? Remember this particular fact. Okay, let's have a look at the urban population now in states. Top three states are Maharashtra, UP and Tamil Nadu. 50.8 for Maharashtra, 44.4 for UP, and for Tamil Nadu it is 34.9 million. These are the percentage allocations, and these percentages are percentage population of Maharashtra urban to the percentage population of India urban, right? Remember this for that. Bottom three states are Sikkim, Arunachal Pradesh, Mizoram, and the respective people are 0.15 million, 0.31 and 0.56 million people. Okay. Now let's have a look at the structure of Indian rural economy. Now the share of rural areas in total NDP and workforce is like this. In the year 1970-71, you would see that share of total economy of rural areas to the total NDP was 62.4%. That is, if 100 rupees are being manufactured or being produced in a particular country, that is India here, 62.4 rupees were coming from the rural areas in 1970-71. This is the meaning of this particular column, right? And when we consider the workforce of total 100 people employed in India, 84.1 people, that is the approximate number, came from rural India. So this was the structure in 1970-71, right? Now you look at 2011-12, you would see that 46.9% contribution to total net domestic product of India comes from the rural areas, and the total population employed over rural areas is 70.9%, right? So if you look at it in the other way, you would see that about 54% of NDP comes from urban areas, and this product is being produced by about 30% of urban population, right? This is the total population residing in the urban areas. So this is how you look at this type of stat. Now the next point is talking about share of rural areas in total NDP and workforce across different sectors, right? We have already seen in the previous slide that 46.9% of 2011-12 of total NDP came from rural areas and 70.9 of the percentage of the workforce. Okay, so this slides talk about share of rural areas in total NDP and workforce across different sectors. Okay, so the first column is talking about agriculture. So of total agricultural product in India, 95.1 percentage of that agriculture product is coming from rural areas, and total population of India employed in agriculture, 95.9 percentage of that population is from rural areas. This is the meaning of this particular table. And if you look at the manufacturing, of total 100% of India's manufacturing, 51.3 percentage of product NDP is coming from rural India, and of all the people employed in manufacturing, 47.4 percentage of that are employed in rural areas. Similarly, for construction, 48.7 percentage of NDP and 74.6 percentage of employment. For services, you would see that obviously that this part is quite low for rural area. That of total services contribution, 25.9 is coming from rural areas, and of total workforce, about 40% of people are employed in services in rural areas. And for non-agriculture, again, this is higher in urban areas and lower, about 35% in rural areas, and of total people employed, it is about 48.7%. Now let's have a look at the growth rates in rural NDP at 2004-5 prices and rural employment. So the growth rate of NDP in the agriculture sector in this particular year, this is of more importance to us, 2005 to 12, is pegged at 4.27%. So on an average from 2005 to 12, agriculture of rural India has grown at about 4.27%. Right, manufacturing has grown at about 15.87, construction at about 11.49, and services is around 3.48, and non-agriculture at 9.21. So overall the growth is that of 7.45%. Right, this is at constant prices, that is that of 2004-5. Now let's have a look at the employment. This minus over here is indicating that from 2005 to 12, there is a decline in people being employed in the agricultural sector. So people have moved away from agriculture to other sectors. There is a marginal increase in manufacturing and higher increase in 12.09%. So construction is mostly a skillless sector. So you don't need to have enough skills to be working in construction sector. So you would see that people are actually moving from agriculture to construction, but this is not showing that India has progressed a lot, because this sector does not require too much of skill to be working in, right? So this is a dangerous precedent for India, that no, even if people are moving from agriculture to other sectors, they are moving to those sectors in which skills are not required. So skill is not being provided to people in India as far as this data says. Similarly, for services, employment has grown at about 1.35%, non-agriculture to 3.65, and overall there has been a decline of minus 0.28%. Now let's have a look at the sectoral share in NDP and employment in rural areas from 1970 to 2012. So share in the rural NDP at current prices, 39.2 in the year of 2011-12 for agriculture, 18.4 of for manufacturing, and for construction 10.5, right, and the services is pegged at 27%. So this is the share in the rural NDP. So of all the NDP of rural areas, share of agriculture is 39.2%. This is the meaning of this table. Now if you look at the share in the rural employment, you would see that of all the people being employed in the rural areas, 64.1% people are employed in agriculture, and similar is the case with manufacturing, 8.6, 10.7 for construction, and 15.5 for services, right? So this is the overall scenario of sectoral share in NDP and employment in the rural areas.